In 2013, Brandon Lawson pulled his truck to the shoulder of Highway 277 near Bronte, Texas, and then stepped out into the dark, called 911 in a voice that sounded urgent and terrified, and was never seen again, with search dogs, ground crews, and a full sweep of the surrounding scrubland turning up nothing. Not a footprint, not a trace. Brandon was 26 years old. He had 4 kids. He worked the oilfields outside San Angelo, long shifts, physical work, the kind of life built on routine. On the night of August 8, 2013, he and his girlfriend Lawson had an argument at home. He got in his truck and drove toward his father's house in Crowley, about 4 hours north on Highway 277. Somewhere outside Bronte, Coleman County, the truck ran out of gas. He pulled to the shoulder. He called his brother Kyle. He said he needed gas. His location. Kyle said he was on his way. That was the last ordinary moment. What happened next is where the case falls apart. At 12:54 a.m. on August 9, Brandon called 911. The call lasted 40 seconds. The dispatcher could barely understand him. Brandon sounded urgent, some say panicked. The words that come through are fragmentary, something about people, something about a field, a request for help. He did not finish the sentence. He disconnected. At almost the same moment, a passing truck driver also called 911. He had seen a man on the highway standing in the road, waving. The driver stopped briefly. The man turned and ran into the scrubland beside the highway. Kyle arrived on Highway 277 roughly 20 minutes after Brandon's call. He found the truck exactly where Brandon described it. Doors open, lights on, Brandon's wallet inside. His phone was gone. Kyle walked the shoulder and called out. He saw no one, heard nothing. He called 911 himself, and then the search began. Coleman County Sheriff's deputies arrived before sunrise. By dawn, they had a perimeter. Search and rescue teams swept the scrubland on both sides of the highway. Helicopters ran the corridor in morning light. Search dogs were brought in. The dogs picked up a scent trail east of the truck, crossed into a field, and then stopped. Not at a fence, not at water, not at a road. The trail simply ended in open ground. Nobody could explain that. Over the following days, the search expanded. Volunteers walked fields in grids. Drone footage was reviewed. Creek beds were checked. Divers entered a nearby stock pond. They found nothing. No body, no clothing, no blood trail. No sign that Brandon had moved through that landscape at all beyond the point where the dogs lost him. And that is the problem. The most common explanation offered is that Brandon was impaired, became disoriented, wandered into the scrubland, and died of exposure or injury, his body missed by search teams in the dense terrain. Coleman County in August is brutal. Low 80s after dark. The land is uneven, thick with cedar, cut by dry creek beds and old fence lines. It is the kind of country that could take a person in distress. And Brandon, according to those close to him, had been under real pressure, financially, personally. The theory has logic. It has happened before. People disappear in open country and their remains surface months later, except the dogs stopped in the middle of a field. Scent trails do not end on dry, open ground without a reason. A trail ends when a person leaves the surface, gets into a vehicle, crosses deep water, or is carried. Not when they collapse. If Brandon had gone down anywhere in that field, search dogs would have found him. The grid teams would have. And in the years since, a rancher or hunter working that land would have found something. Coleman County is not wilderness. People move through it every single day. And then there is the 911 call. Investigators enhanced the audio over the years. What they believe they heard, and the transcripts remain disputed, includes references to multiple people and something about being pursued. Not a man who ran out of gas and panicked. Someone describing an active scene involving other individuals. Remember, Brandon did not call for a tow truck. He called 911 in 40 seconds, sounding the way he sounded. He did not sound lost. He sounded like a man trying to report something that was happening around him. Here is what should not be possible. The truck driver who called 911 said the man he saw ran, deliberately, not stumbling, moving fast into the scrubland. The dogs followed that trail. The trail stopped. No one on that highway reported seeing another vehicle stop. No one reported picking up anyone. No one came forward. A man ran into an open Texas field on a traveled highway and ceased to exist on the other side of it. No grave, no clothing, no phone, no bones. Brandon Lawson has never been found. His case remains open with the Coleman County Sheriff's Office. His family still searches. His children are teenagers now. No charges have ever been filed. No suspect has ever been named. If he ran into that field on his own 2 feet, something made him run. Nobody has ever answered what that was.